We book over 300 sale calls every single month from LinkedIn. In fact, when we did our launch recently, we actually booked over 100 demos in less than 48 hours. And no, we are not running a massive SDR team, we are not blasting thousands of generic connection requests, and we are definitely not just cold messaging strangers hoping someone responds. We are doing something completely different. So in this video, we are going to break down the exact system we use to turn LinkedIn into a predictable demo booking machine and how you can copy it. Let's get into it. The problem with how most people use LinkedIn. Most people treat LinkedIn outreach the same way they treat cold email. They build a list of prospects who have never heard of them, write a semi-personalized message, and blast it to hundreds of thousands of people, hoping that maybe 1 to 2% will respond. And this approach fails on LinkedIn for a specific few reasons. First, LinkedIn has far stricter account limits than email, so you can't just increase volume to fix bad targeting. Messages are permanent, meaning you can't re-engage the same lead with a clean slate 3 months later. And prospects can see your entire profile, so a bad first impression sticks with you. What you should be doing instead is focusing on timing over volume. Instead of reaching out to strangers and hoping they have the problem you solve right now, you reach out to people who are already showing interest. Someone who just viewed your profile, engaged with your content, or visited your website is a completely different prospect than a cold name on a list. They already know you exist, which means the conversation starts from a different place. That is how we book over 300 demos every month from LinkedIn. We are not sending more messages than everyone else. We are sending better timed messages to warmer prospects. We call this warm outbound. So you might wonder, what is warm outbound? Warm outbound is a different category than cold outreach or outbound. Cold outreach means reaching out to people who have never interacted with you. Inbound means waiting for people to come to you and fill out a form. Warm outbound's in between, where you are proactively reaching out, but only to people who have already shown some level of interest. Think of it this way. Your content, your brand, your website, they all pull people towards your business every single day. But without a system to actually reach out to those people, most of that interest just fades. Warm outbound is the execution layer that converts that attention into pipeline. The reason this works so well is because you're combining timing with deep personalization. Most tools make you choose between one or the other, where you either send well-timed but generic messages, or you spend hours personalizing for people who may not even be interested. With warm outbound, you get both. You are reaching people who are already in the right headspace, and you are sending them messages backed by thorough research. That combination is why we see around 47% reply rates compared to 8% with traditional cold outreach. And to actually capture these signals and run the system, we use our own platform, Valley. Here are the 4 signals we use for outreach. So the first signal we track is profile viewers. When someone views your LinkedIn profile, they are actively researching you. Something triggered that curiosity, maybe they saw your content, maybe someone mentioned you, maybe they are evaluating vendors. Whatever the reason, they are thinking about you right now, which makes it the perfect time to reach out. The key is speed, and you want to message them while you are still top of mind, ideally within 24 hours of the view. The second signal is post engagers. If you are posting content about the problems your product solves, the people who engage with the content are self-selecting. They are telling you that they care about this topic by liking, commenting, or sharing. And this doesn't just apply to your own content. We also track people who engage with up to 4 competitors or other creators in the same space. So, if someone is liking or commenting on a competitor's post about the exact problem you solve, you can reach out to them with a better answer. Post engagers tend to be one of the highest converting signals because there's a natural conversation starter built in. You're not reaching out cold. You are following up on something they already engaged with. The third signal is website visitors. Someone visiting your website is even further down the funnel than a profile viewer. They have actively navigated to your site to learn more about what you do. And not all website visits are equal. Someone who hit your pricing page 3 times this week has way more intent than someone who bounced off your homepage. So we attribute intent levels based on which pages they visited and how many times they came back. And the fourth signal is company page followers. New followers on your company page are typically early stage researchers. They may not be ready to buy right now, but they are interested enough to opt into hearing more from you. Company page followers are a softer signal than the other three, so we treat it differently. We usually combine it with ICP scoring to make sure we are only reaching out to the followers who are actually a good fit. What makes this whole approach work is that these signals are dynamic, not static. Every single day, new people are viewing your profile, engaging with your posts, visiting your website. So instead of working through the same stale list for months, you are always reaching out to people who just showed interest. That freshness is what drives the reply rates we see. How to score prospects before reaching out. Now, not everyone who views your profile or engages with your content is a good fit. Just because someone showed interest doesn't mean they match your ICP. Reaching out to unqualified prospects wastes your time and your limited LinkedIn actions. So we score every prospect as high, medium, or low fit before any message gets sent. Both high and medium fits get quality, well-researched, personalized outreach, and we consistently see 3 times higher results when we target high and medium fits versus reaching out to everyone. Low fits get filtered out entirely, so you're not wasting messages on people who will never buy. The scoring looks at multiple factors. ICP match based on company size, industry, role, and other criteria you define. Problem intensity based on signals like job postings, company news, or tech stack. Relevance to what you are selling. And likelihood to respond based on their activity level and engagement history. We are not just reaching more people, we are reaching the right people at the right time. Before we continue, if you want us to help you set up this exact system for your business using Valley, click the first link in the description and book a demo with our team. We will show you how to capture these signals and turn them into booked meetings. Now, back to the video. How to research before reaching out. Signals tell you when to reach out, but research tells you what to say. And most automation tools completely fall apart at this step. They rely on templated messages with maybe a first name and company name swapped in. Everyone can tell it's automated and they delete it immediately. So for every high fit prospect, we run deep research before sending any message. Company level research looks at recent news, job postings, funding announcements, leadership changes, anything that indicates what they are focused on right now. Level research looks at what the specific person is responsible for and what challenges people in their position typically face. And activity level research looks at what they have posted about recently, what they have engaged with, and what their content tells us about their priorities. All of that research gets consolidated into a single view for each prospect inside Valley, so none of it has to be done manually. Here's what this looks like for me inside Valley. I can see all the research consolidated into a single view for each prospect, so I don't have to do any of this manually. That research becomes the foundation for messages that actually feel human. When you reference something specific about their situation, prospects can tell you actually did your homework. And that is the difference between a 10% reply rate and a 40% reply rate. Now here is the million-dollar question. What messages do you actually send? The biggest mistake people make is leading with themselves. Something like, hey, I am so and so from this company. We help companies with LinkedIn outreach. Nobody cares about you or your product in the first message. They care about themselves and their problems. The structure that works is relevant observation, insight, soft ask. The observation is something specific you notice about their company, role, or recent activity that shows you actually looked. The insight is why that observation matters and what it might mean for them. And the soft ask is a question or low commitment offer that makes sense given the context. The other thing to notice is these messages avoid the patterns that make outreach feel automated. No generic greetings like hope you're doing well, no fake compliments like love what you're building at whatever company, and no immediate pitch or calendar link in the first message. Just a relevant observation and a natural next step. Valley generates these messages in your voice, not a generic AI voice. You train it on your writing style and product information so the messages sound like you actually wrote them. From there, you can either let messages send automatically or review them in batches. Most of our users spend maybe 15 to 20 minutes reviewing and approving 50 plus messages. That replaces 3 to 4 hours of manual research and writing every single day. How we use the system to book 300 plus demos per month. So day to day, this is what the system actually looks like. Every day, signals are flowing in from profile viewers, post engagers, website visitors, and followers. Those signals get scored automatically and the high fits move into campaigns. Valley researches each prospect and generates personalized messages. Messages either sent automatically or go through quick approval depending on the campaign, and replies come back into a unified inbox where we manage conversations and book meetings. Here are the numbers we are seeing right now. On connection requests with follow-ups, we see around 53% reply rates. On emails, we are getting around 21% reply rates. That compares to the 8% industry average for cold outreach. And the cost per meeting math is what makes this powerful. For traditional SDR teams, you need 15 to 20 reps at 80K each to book 200 meetings per month. That is 1.6 million per year, or about $666,000 per booked meeting. With this system, we get those same 200 meetings for around 10K per month. That is about $50 per booked meeting, which is a 13 times cost reduction. And we are not the only ones seeing these results. One of our agency customers books over 400 demos every single month using Valley. We have other customers booking over 200 demos monthly. Bolt New booked 20 enterprise demos within 45 days of starting. And some customers booked their first 10 demos within the first 15 days. The best part is the system compounds over time. As you post more content, you generate more signals. As Valley learns what messages work, reply rates improve. As your profile activity increases, more people start viewing and engaging. This isn't a one-time campaign. It's a pipeline engine that runs continuously. Now, if you want to implement this exact system in your business and start using Valley, click the link in the description to book a demo with us. We will help you identify your warm signals, set up the research layer, and start booking qualified meetings from LinkedIn within the first few weeks. So again, click that link below and book your call. And if you want to learn more about how to make LinkedIn outreach work, then watch this video next.